Pete. But what I want to ask them is, what is the highest leverage activity for you as a business owner?
Employment.
Yeah, and Pete's saying employment, and that's right. It's actually selection. Because, you know, if he employs a dud, you're fucking stuck with a dud. It's actually the selection before the employment. He's not thinking about that. Puts all his effort into what? So how does he employ? How do you employ people? Alright? Run an ad, right? You read resumes, and you conduct interviews. Right? Then you make a decision. Strongly recommend you don't find a wife this way, right? Okay? You want to try before you buy. I talk to you there, Kel. You're the only single bloke in the room.
Yeah.
Fellas have made good choices. You would have felt good, Terry, after our catch up with your girl.
That's great.
Fucking mate, when I'm coming through some business hoops with this one, I'm thinking, good. Because she looks good, I like her, you know, and I like this and I like that. But it was important that she had the right attitude to money, because I'd had the wrong one before. And it's like you're filling up the bucket and then, like, you know, it's just buddy spilling out all over the place. All right, so they run an ad, don't they? All right? But the problem is that this is hit, or what?
Yes.
And what happens when you miss?
Do it again.
No, you're stuck with the fucking dickhead. Think about it. They want the money, and they gave you some bullshit at the interview, and they put a bit of optimistic stuff that they cut and paste into their resume, and you've got somebody in your business that, you know, that is now a problem because you can't immediately get rid of them, can you? All right, okay, got that? So Tom, this is not how it will go. This is not how the thing will go. This is not flowing. We're just putting chunks of information down, and then we'll refine this down into a flowing presentation, which we'll all be happy with, yeah?
Yep.
So it's just an initial sort of brainstorm session, okay? But Tom, we all know this, don't we? Maybe this is too arrogant. Pete, you can bloody sort it out. We hire based on skills. But we fire based on attitude. Isn't that true? He is only, and so look, you would have 10 different, and you know what the joke is too, one of the jokes? A lot of them will be using a uni-qual, right,
From a skill point of view.
as a filter. Because obviously if they've got a uni qualification, they're better. Well, that's just bullshit. we're talking about the industrial world here. All right. So anyway, so they'll have their list of skills, right? And they hire based on those. Problem is, you're going to fire based on attitude. So next question is, Tom, think back over the last 5 years and just conjure up in your mind the 5 biggest dickheads that you've employed. Just conjure them up in your brain. Can you see them there in your mind, Tom? Okay. What did they all have in common? What are the attitude problems that would make you want to sack somebody? And he should be able to tell you. But I guess if he's a bit slow, what are you going to help him with?
Arrogant.
Arrogant. I like that. All right, so what does arrogant mean? Right? Right? He can't listen. Can't listen. Needs to tell everyone. That's a really good one. Let's talk about the arrogant worker. Mate, we can probably do like an animated
Cartoon.
yeah. Well, I mean, just put this down in one of those simple animated things and just roll it out for these guys. But anyway,
Lazy.
the arrogant guy can't listen. Needs to fucking tell everyone everything all the time.
Lazy or slow.
Right? Lazy or slow. Puts pressure on his team members. He's not keeping up. Everyone's got to pick up the slack for this guy. Creates resentment, creates friction, creates disharmony. Give me another one.
Don't turn up.
Yes! Now you spell that. Fucking liable. Right? And I'd write it like that. How much do you like someone who's fucking liable?
Not much.
Yeah, no. So you got your deadline there. You got your, you got your job that needs to be delivered to your customer, and then you haven't got your team members to do it because they're unreliable. That's like building. That's like building your organisation on quicksand. Creates huge amounts of stress for you, but also your team members. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Dishonesty. Good one.
Dishonest. Oh mate, I only borrowed your fucking shifter. Oh really? Well, how come it's in your toolbox?
Put your initials well
you shifty cunt. Okay? Them's fighting words, eh? You touch my tools, you take my tools out of my toolbox, that's going to cause conflict, friction, etc. Yeah, bad. Dishonest. What's the most common form of stealing in a business, Tom? Write this down. There's all gold. It's going down there. Good. Right. What's the most common form of stealing in a business?
Most of the time.
Yep. Alright. Dodging around on timesheets. Yeah, so wasting time and then billing the time on the timesheet. Right? Right? Or if I want to get it, you watch your guys, because if your supervisor's not watching, they'll just clip on 30 minutes at the end of their day on a 5-day week and get a little ka-ching. Because if it goes through and the supervisor signs it, it's like a check. It goes through to Dana and then ka-ching, it goes in their bank account. And they go, fucking that was all right. So what are they going to do next week?
Hour.
Yeah, sure, they'll just creep. It's the most common form of theft, and people don't consider it is theft, right? But if they jot down an extra hour's work, that's 25 bucks. That's like taking 25 bucks out of the till. Same thing, but they don't see it that way. So it's a very common form of dishonesty. Where you've got a warehouse and you're dealing with shrinkage. Anyone know what shrinkage is?
Yes.
Theft. Coles Myer, biggest problem they have. Right, boxes this big of Gillette Fusion razor blades. Can you imagine what one of those motherfuckers is worth? Because I'm paying like 30 bucks for that
40
little
bucks,
thing,
yeah.
right?
That's right. You don't
Right.
You're in the wrong industry.
Right? And so you got Tony there on his forklift, and he can just go whoop, whoop, and he puts it into Barry's fucking ute. Oh, whoops. Right? What would that be worth?
Grand.
Yes, it'd be more. I think it'd be worth more. But yeah, so like it could be like a brick, a $5 brick. Right, dishonesty. So this is your skill. This is your skill to paint the picture of the problem, isn't it, Pete?
Yep.
Okay. Now, Pete, you're the man to do this, like because you've got more selling ability than me. But so we just right. So dishonest. What else?
Rude.
Unsafe.
Rude.
Mm.
Oh, Kelly, you get a big tick. Unsafe. Okay, give that girl a cigar. Alright? What else? So smoking bongs is alright, isn't it, Tom? Like in your business?
Disloyal.
Like it's okay, is it, to smoke bongs?
Not at all.
Really? Oh,
Really?
so you don't want any drug use, is that right?
Correct.
So why have you got some drug use when you don't want it?
There you go.
How do you know you don't?
Exactly.
Drugs. And the legal one. Alcohol. Right? Your bloke shouldn't be drinking during the week. That's the bullshit about how many drinks I have on a weekly basis to all the doctors and all that. Because you learn how many standard drinks you're meant to have. Jesus. You know, it's like, well, I'm just fucking, you know, you're meant to have like 10 standard drinks a week or something, and I'm having like 100. You know, I go, well, those guys like I used to be are not what you want. You don't want your recreational drinkers during the week, and if they and you find out, just quietly find out, and just give them a swerve. They shouldn't be drinking during the week. You shouldn't be drinking during the week. You shouldn't. Don't start. No, I'm serious. Don't start. Don't start. I started, and I you know. If we recruit a particular type of person, and you would be above average on your ability to get into addictive behaviour because of what we've recruited you for. We'll just mention that in passing. Drugs. What else?
Disloyal.
Disloyal. Great. This is probably the most common one. Us and them. Disloyal. Right?
It's just linking clothes.
These people sit around the smoko shed, and when there's some change getting implemented, they go, oh yeah, they're trying to fuck us now. No, it's just a change. And who says it's not going to be better? They do. Because it's got to be worse, because they're against us. Because they're assholes, aren't they? Because they're bosses. Because all bosses are assholes, aren't they? No. But half the working population think that. Half the working population have this poxy, heavily unionised attitude that all bosses are assholes. So that makes them a bad employee. Like, we don't want someone who hates you, Tom. It doesn't matter how fucking good he is. If he's sitting in the smoko shed saying, oh yeah, but they're just bloody, you know, ripping us off as hard as they can, they're mongrel bastards, that is very bad for your business. And plus, you know that they hate you. And you have to come to work with people that you know hate you.
And
Or
then pay
dislike you at least. So where's your enjoyment of coming to work?
Mm.
We help him talk about that. And if you build rapport properly, you're not going to do this on the first date, but if you build rapport properly with him, he'll share with you that he hasn't enjoyed coming to work for fucking years. And it's just that his wife's used to the income, and the kids are used to the income, and the public, the private schools, and the holidays. He's got to prop up this lifestyle by putting up with shit from these fucking arseholes out there. So that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for someone who's dissatisfied with how things are going. Right, that's a good list.
Pre-existing medical conditions.
Nice, I like that. Someone who gossips. Yeah. So just put pre-exist. You'll know what that is. Will you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gossip. Union stirrer. Tom, do you get the picture? So getting back to my question, what is the highest leverage, Tom, activity that you can perform as a business owner? Now in terms of leverage, I'm talking about bang, for buck. Who knows what ROI is?
Return on investment.
Okay, thank you, Pierre. So that's a lever. Who can lift 1 ton of weight? How much can you bench press? 70 kilos? Yep. Who can lift 700 kilos? You all can.
With a lever.
What's your lever? Huh? Pretty easy.
Lots of Chinese
Just go to the
YouTube
kids'
videos.
playground. Go to the kids' playground and put the 700 kilograms up close to the fulcrum, which is the point of balance is on, and then get up here and you just go. Little Hope, little skinny Hope, she can lift Kelly's car with a jack. And even if she couldn't work the handle, I could put a pipe on the handle so that she could. So this is the principle of leverage. It's return on investment of effort. Right? Okay. Right. So I haven't really done the pirouette and landed on the mat perfectly for the ultimate performance, but we're just shilling out the guts of this. So you got that?
Yep.
What's the solution, Tom?
I do it for you.
Hmm?
I do it for you.
Our character-based recruitment model. First up, is he married? So if you're looking for a full-time team member, what I've found is that if you choose married people in a happy, stable marriage, they'll last longer. Single blokes tend to drift off more easily. And if they find they can get a route the other side of the river, then boom, we're gone. Okay? Good thing about the married bloke is, hopefully, he's already got his route lined up. And she's sitting at home cooking his dinner, hopefully. I hope you're getting all this down, mate, because I want you to say this to business owners word for word.
It's just leave.
I was going to say, I hope you're going to say this to your future girlfriend.
But in all seriousness, I'm not talking about right or wrong here.
No.
I'm just a fucking scientist that measures how long something lasts. And if I notice that the married something lasts longer, am I entitled to know that? Yes, I'm entitled to know that. So therefore, Am I entitled to factor that into my selection process? Yes, I am. Now, if he's married, I'm going to meet his wife. Right? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
The right answer is, yeah, can I meet your wife? He said, yeah, sure. No questions. Wrong answer is, what do you need to meet her for? Very illuminating, Pete. It's just wrong. It's a wrong answer. You'd almost say, oh mate, it's okay, don't worry about it. I want to meet her. Why? Because I want to see if she has any goals. It's well understood that over a period of time, say 10 or 20 years, those individuals who have goals, right? The 10% of individuals that have goals will outstrip the results of the other 90% of people. Do you believe that to be true? There's been studies and it's been proven. But does it make sense that if you have a purpose and a goal to work towards, that you're more likely to get somewhere? The opposite of goals is what? Drifting. What does that look like? Having a bourbon and coke, smoking a bong, and watching porn or TV. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what we want you to say to the business owner. Okay? Anyway, so do they have goals? Do they have written goals? Great part about our service is we find out, are you open to having a goal? Sit them down with their husband, with their wife, sit the husband down with the wife, and we line some goals up for them. So a lot of these people have never done this in their relationship before. They've never even set a goal in their life. Tom, does it make sense to you? Write this down. Tom, does it make sense to you that if we recruit for you a goal setter, that he's going to perform better than somebody who's just drifting in his life? Well, he's going to understand about goals, isn't he? He's a business owner. By the way, we're only doing this for 10K perms, guys. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. People are going to stay for long-term jobs.
Yeah, start off temporary to go permanent.
And for, if there was on occasion a permanent placement,
Sorry?
like if we had, say, a permanent placement, it'd be very important as well. Is that,
Yeah, but no, because permanent placement is doing what, that's you're making a decision.
okay, oh, okay.
No, this is instead of a permanent place. They should not do permanent placements. That
Yeah.
is fucking madness in my view.
Yeah,
Because mate, everyone gets all spruced up for the first date.
yeah.
Come on, is that how it's going to be? Like really? After a year of bloody drudgery and day to day, and is it all going to be there for you? No. No.
She's in the room, man. She's just there.
Well, unless you get it right, and it is. No, I'm serious. I mean, that's part of getting it right. But I'm not talking about the girls now. I'm talking about the employee who's sprucing it up for the interview,
Yeah, okay.
whose interview technique is through the roof. You just smashed the interview. Oh, fuck. I think we've got a great one here. No, you don't. No, you don't do permanent placements.
Yeah.
You try before you buy.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find out what you've got 6 weeks in. Because the human brain can't keep up bullshit. Because the bullshit's in the words. What we're watching is what? The actions don't lie.
Yeah.
Unreliable shows up in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Drug use shows up in 6 weeks. Alcohol abuse, because you see them showing up to work. It's very hard to hide that sort of stuff. They talk about what they did in the smoko room, like you find things out. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so big difference is we're going to focus for a permanent person, we're going to give preference to a married person if he's married, meet his wife, and even if he's single, we can work with single people. Got to make sure they've got goals set. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. We are looking positively at commitments. So it is a plus that this person has a mortgage. It's a negative if they're renting. Does that make sense to you, Tom? Every time I say, does that make sense to you, that is a tie down. So I'm tying him down. We're agreeing. And we're nodding, aren't we? I'm saying, does that make good eye contact? We've got good rapport, because we've built the rapport before we've done this. We'll have to do this properly. Right, but we've built the rapport, we've got nice rapport happening. And what did I say? Commitments, mortgage versus rent. Fuck, I lost my bloody. So,
With the mortgage is more
yeah. Well, that's right. So someone who's paying off a mortgage.
Positive commitments.
Yeah, it's a positive commitment. Anyway, look, I won't go on too long. Mortgages, very important. We can measure that. Kids, you can measure that. Kids, we interview the kids. Alright? I'm pretty good. Peter's excellent at revealing what a relationship's like. Meet the wife, meet the kids. It is very difficult to hide a dysfunctional relationship with children running around.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, I told you.
Don't make me get those.
Okay? So why wouldn't we interview the kids?
Because they'll spill the beans on everything.
Because they're unashamedly
No, I mean not interview the kids, but have the kids in to the interview. Check them out.
They're a reflection.
Right? You want to go deeper? Right? Okay? Right? Look, the whole purpose, if I just step back from this, the whole purpose of this is to put science versus luck. This is science, right? Science measures. Right? Science looks at cause and effect. These are measurable things. Now, when you speak to an intelligent business owner, they will realise that, of course, this is right. Now, if you can know it, and it is measurable, write this down. If you can know it, and it is measurable, why wouldn't you want to know it? The answer is PC and scared about political correctness and really terrified of fair work. Fair work is a monster, man.
can't know it.
And
I just
it is
said
measurable.
Measurable.
And it is measurable.
What did we say? So if you can know it and it is measurable, why would you not want to know it? Like if we can put factors in that determine the suitability of one of your people and the longevity and loyalty of one of your people, we want to put them in there. All right? Okay. Clubs and church. I don't go to church, right? We don't take our kids to church. Well, I mean, it's not that we're against it. We will go to church around Christmas time, around various different things. We say prayers at home. That's our own personal belief, but I'm not imposing any of that on you. At some point, we will have a spiritual discussion on what the world's all about. It just helps you find meaning for you, and that's a philosophical conversation. It's not a religious conversation, but that's not today. But measurability again, right? if a guy is devout, what does that mean? If a family is devout, sold out. Do you know what it means?
Maybe committed to that thing.
Huh? And that means they have faith. Do you know what it means to have faith? What it literally means to have faith. What is a demonstration of someone's faith?
Catch me.
Huh?
Catch me.
Yeah, it's taking an action when you can't see, what's going to happen. You're doing it on faith. It's taking action when you can't see the proof. Right? Faith is action in the absence of proof. I can't prove you're not going to fall, jump away at the last second. Okay? Alright? It's a really good thing to do, by the way, the old trust falls. Oh, this is brilliant. And you will see members of your team that can't trust. I can trust you, no problem. Does that surprise you?
No.
It'd be an interesting career move if you let me fall down.
Yeah, but but see, it would be. It's not just a career thing, is it? It's just a human thing. It's a very interesting because they're falling, and you think, oh fuck, right? It just invokes a feeling, right? Anyway, that's off the subject. If someone is devout, all right, so am I a racist? Well, I mean, if someone's a jihadist, that doesn't count. Do you know what I mean by a jihadist? That they want to kill all the infidels?
Yes,
All right, so exclude any extreme view, which is not what I'm talking about. So any like ultra right-wing neo-Nazi people that shave their heads and want to kill all the Jews. Like anyone that wants to kill anyone, like just delete that. But that's not most people. Most people who are devout, what's the basis of most religion? Huh? And
man upstairs.
And what's the basis of it? It's love, right? Unconditional love and tolerance. Love and tolerance. That's the basis of Buddhism, Christianity, all the good religions. It's about love and tolerance, getting on with each other, not having murder and all the nasty rape and all the nasty bad things. The point I'm making is see a church connection with someone who's got a family as a tick, because they will be probably more reliable. That's about it. So, sorry, you want to interview his car,
Yep.
his tools, right? Now, Pete, there were recruiters working in my business that I had said I have insisted, now be careful, because I'll insist that you do things. Then I won't follow you up for a year. Does that change the fact that I insisted on it? No. Does that put you in the shit if you didn't fucking do it? Yes. Okay. Because I treat you like adults, okay? I'm telling you, for a permanent position, I insist you have a photo of the field team member. You have a photo of his fucking car. Right, we can play a game, Pete, right? It's a good game to play, it'd be a good training session. Have a dozen blokes. Or we could do a video on it. Hey, here's a dozen blokes. Now let's look and see who's the best. Who's got the best attitude. Now you can tell something. You want your blokes to shave and you want them to iron their shirt. Presentation is a tick, right? But then you choose who you like, but then you put them with their car. And then you see them in a different light. Because the guy that's got the shit heap, you think, no. It's like your shoes. Show me your shoes, everyone. Okay, yeah, so you were like 6.5. Omar?
No, I love shoes.
They're good.
He just did them
I
today.
just didn't
They're good. That's very good. And what's yours? I can't see it. I can only see the sole of yours.
Should be good.
Is it
No,
good?
they look good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So people make so it's called the halo effect, right? People look at things like your dress, and they make certain assumptions about your character. Shiny shoes. Same with shaving. Not into this millennial bloody. Millennial's bad. Don't project millennial when you go to grow a business. It's just bad. They want. Okay. Alright. So, photo of the car. So, what I'm saying is the truth's out there. You go, oh yeah, I'll do that. And why wouldn't you look at his fucking car? When the two main reasons he didn't show up,
His car broke down. And I out of petrol.
right? So, if I look at his car, I can predict whether his car's going to get there or not. Mate, you get a guy, show me your tools if he's a tradie. I've had him with a little canvas bag and a set of multi-grips, a screwdriver, and a fucking hammer. No shit. And he's a fitter. But guess what?
He ain't getting it now.
He spent all his money on drugs and alcohol. He didn't have any tools left because he put them all down the cashies.
Winner.
So we recruited the,
See you later.
you know, right? Okay, so the one, you know, the guys you want who take pride in their tools. Now that, I mean, there are some lazy bastards that are just tool queens and they've got everything and they never use it. But I mean, at least it's something to measure. So we're going to measure his car. We're going to measure his tools, right? And guys, if you really want to get down and dirty, this is the highest level. You go into his house and you're signing him up in his house. Because if there is bongs to be smelt, you're looking at alcohol, you're seeing all sorts of stuff. You go and see where someone lives, not when they're expecting you. You're just dropping by and you just got to quickly get something done. Fucking yeah. Okay?
Still take a few pictures of the inside of the house as well.
Don't need pictures. But you interview the house. And then that's the complete picture. That is the character-based recruitment model. That works like fucking awesome. Okay? Who wants to make $2 million off one client? Write it down, $2 million. I want to make $2 million off one client. Who knows anyone that's done that? You all do.
Yep, I do.
Okay, so the company's Hastings Gearing, it's the Caterpillar dealership. Over a 12-year period, $1 million paid to the rep in commissions, $1 million paid to the recruiters in commissions.
Is it you? It was
Beautiful. Take
But
it.
it doesn't matter, does it? But just know this, that the first order I got, which was for 4 fitters, I crawled up their arse with a microscope.
Yeah, I was just going to say we should go.
Yeah, cool man. Good to have you back on deck.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen Captain Marvel?
I don't really watch
She
it.
has very nice breasts. Check it out.
She's still
Seriously.
she's still in the room.
Captain Marvel.
Just the one on the end. You're Captain Marvel.
Go and watch Captain Marvel. She's well
I'm
put
glad
together.
Jeff watched it.
Is it a
It's
new
like
movie?
I caught the end of it. It's like,
Captain Marvel is a girl.
Yep.
That's the point
They
I'm
changed it.
making. Right.
Yeah.
Captain America is African American. And there you go. No, good to see you. Good to have you back.
Yeah, no, thanks. Then I'll
Yeah, what's nice?
fix those up.
Do you know how to do it though?
Not really.
All right,
I
so
can Google it.
get the yeah. Well, if you want to, otherwise
No,
we'll sit down and
it's-
sit
I wanted
down.
to, not because you said.
Where's
I've
the
actually got some stuff at home.
Where is it? Yeah.
You need parade gloss.
It's just well like that.
Kiwi parade gloss.
yeah.
Isn't there something that goes tin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've actually got some like that.
Little cloth. You
Yeah.
spit. Right, spit a little gob of spit
On the shoe.
on the shoe, and then you make little circles around the edge of the spit. There'll be YouTube videos.
Spit polish.
Thanks, Joe. See you guys. See you.
Well
See you,
done, good to have you back, Mark.
Cheers.
Alright, interview's house. That's the end of that, isn't it?
Yep.
We're done?
Yep. The point, you've got.
Oh no, sorry, no, we're talking about $2 million. I crawled up their arse with a fucking microscope. None of those 4 fitters drank during the week. None of those 4 fitters had a sympathetic attitude towards the gunja. All of them hated the fucking union and could tell me a story why. They were all tall, they were all strong, they were all fit. They would not be intimidated by these Do you know what a closed shop is? A closed shop is where the union has declared no ticket, no start. Union membership in this workplace is compulsory. Okay, closed shops still exist in the CBD construction industry and various other places, mostly wharves and that sort of, well, you know, I mean, they're getting less and less, but anyway, my guys had to be tough, go in there. Okay, and the result was on the record, $1 million for the rep, $1 million for the recruiter. So, well, the point I'm making, and then I haven't even done the numbers on Drake trailers, or what's Mark's blue chip client, Wagners. All right, okay. So there's big dollars. It makes sense, doesn't it? Big dollars.
So not even an HR department do that.
Mate, we can discriminate. There's a whole talk. This still running?
Yeah, I've just got on there.
Okay. This is separate, but I'll just throw it out there so it's on the tape and we'll talk about it. It's the talk about discrimination. And you say to your client, Tom, is discrimination in the workplace legal? And he'll say, no, it's not legal. Because there's anti-discrimination legislation. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? Good. But he's wrong. Discrimination is legal. Discrimination is just choosing. What's not legal is for me to have a prejudice based on anyone's colour of their skin, their gender, their anything, their height, their religion, their footy team, whatever. I can't make a blanket statement that all females can't drive, right? Or that all Kiwis are fucking dishonest. You know, that all bloody Indigenous Aboriginal people are lazy. No, that's wrong, okay? And it would be wrong, wouldn't it? Because what defines you? The colour of your skin, your gender? No, it's who you are as a person. Okay. But can I choose? Of course I can choose. That's discrimination, is just choosing. But the good thing is, Tom, is we do all that for you. It's like going to a restaurant. You get what you want. And guess what? If you don't like what you got, we'll change it for you. No hassles. Alright, that's enough, eh?
Yep. Well, can we do the other section, say next week?
Anytime you like, mate.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
There is a, and there's a finite amount to this. This doesn't go on forever. Like that's a big chunk of it, and you know.
That's setting the scene for what we're going to introduce to the
This
boss.
is E-Myth, man. Like we'll just build this thing. These guys need to have the sack, the guts, the courage, the balls to hit up the business owner. And I'll tell you, the opportunity is that Matt and Mark and any of the other trainees that Matt and Mark have had haven't had the courage to do that. And Matt will be watching this video, so I'm not talking behind his back. It's just a fact. But you've got a great trainer here, haven't you? And when you've got Pete in the car, you can do anything, can't you? Well, feel that way, because it's true. But what's the fear about? It's and how do you overcome the fear? You have your script, you say the words. They say yes or no. Business owners not make money.
It's not you.
That's exactly right. None of you blokes would think, oh, you weren't down there on Wednesday, you didn't go to Melbourne, what are you going to do? No.
That's very exciting, Peter. Because then, getting right back to the beginning, the pie chart, this thing gives you the 95% of people because they all recruit. This is a recruitment process, not a labour hire thing. And we want at least 12 weeks hire, but probably 16 to 20 weeks. So this is only for people who are making money. Alright? With 16 weeks labour hire, it's like 4 months. You put a bloke out, boom, 4 months. Nice. You could put 2 blokes out a week, and if they stayed for 4 months, big because you can have 100 blokes out by, you know, like you're going to build one. Alright.
Can, pretty quick finish it, but are you okay for me to refer these guys to that E-myth, the first one? Just so you get a handle on,
Yeah.
get a handle on where this is going to go to next week. Okay? It's quite enlightening, and it's,
I'd learn the whole. I would watch it. I would watch it 10 times and learn it, and take
What are
notes.
you watching?
it's E-myth.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
yeah, and there's a new one which I haven't seen, Jeff referred me to, but the one that really spells it out. In fact, when is it?
It's the E-myth seminar. Just turn that off, huh?